4, 2, 2, 3, and I'm the king of the world. These men are
Coming soon. I talked about something.
Hey, would you Thanks, man.
Hey there, friends and family. This is Dan. I'm here at the Dan and Adam Are Afraid podcast. It is Saturday, July 11, 2026. It is episode 105. I'm so glad to be joined by you on episode 105. I hope you're planning on sticking around. As always, I'm joined here by my Telugu star co-host, Adam.
With an intro like that, I almost did the accent. Again, no accent on these Indian podcasts, folks. We're trying to be respectful here.
Samayama. I don't even know the lyrics. I just love I love the timbre of their voices in the songs. It's so fun. How are you doing, Adam? We don't have much time to chit chat. Do you have anything going on? You doing okay, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, you see there, I got a crib behind me. We're MTV.
That's crazy.
We're MTV cribs
cats
up in my place.
There's two cats 69ing next to the crib.
Yeah, kitten. So my cat was trying to crawl on my desk, and because I moved him, he then decided to take vengeance on my other cat.
We love cats here on the show. It's another classic Dan and Adam episode this week, folks, and we're glad to be joined by you. We're gonna get into it. We got some trailers to talk about this week. Adam, do you wanna kick us off? I'm gonna start with our opening statement. As always,
Thanks, man. Jesus Christ.
Thanks, man.
The lights are going down, and we're settling for some trailers before the feature presentation. What's that first trailer, Adam?
Ooh, it looks like what's coming up is The Social Reckoning, written by Aaron Sorkin. Is it directed by Aaron Sorkin?
So produced by Columbia Pictures and Alcon Entertainment, distribution by Sony Pictures Releasing. Director is Aaron Sorkin. He is known for The West Wing from 1999 to 2006. He was the showrunner, obviously the writer of The Social Network, the movie that is the precursor to this one, ostensibly. And then The Trial of the Chicago 7, he directed that in 2020. We all know Aaron Sorkin, Adam.
Yeah, he wrote one of the a classic movie in my history, A Few Good Men. So I don't feel like it's horror. I don't know. What did you think of this trailer, Dan?
Well, I'll read the little synopsis here. Follows Frances Haugen or Hagen. I don't know how to say her name. A young Facebook engineer who enlisted the help of Jeff Horowitz, a Wall Street Journal reporter, to blow the whistle on the social network's most guarded secrets. My first thought here, Adam, is I love Mikey Madison. Sean Baker's Honora was amazing. You still haven't seen that, right?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen that movie about a sex worker.
She was also in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She gets her face bashed by Cliff.
Nice. I just watched that scene a few days ago, actually.
Yeah, I want to rewatch. I watched like most of it with my girlfriend last weekend, but I got too sleepy. Yeah, are you aware of the? Speaking of, are you aware of the Cliff Booth movie coming out? Have we talked about that?
Yeah, I don't know if we've talked about it on the show, but you know, I'm aware it's coming out. I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
I love Brad Pitt's character.
I guess I'm
movie.
excited. I don't like Fincher though.
Yeah, you don't like.
And I barely like Tarantino anymore.
Oh, damn! We got some gauntlets being thrown down.
And like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is like one of my favorite movies. Like I know I don't want a sequel. What do you mean? Anyway, we're not talking about that movie. We're talking about The Social Reckoning today. This movie got memed on social media because the first line in the trailer is, "Listen, before I go on, I want to make something clear." I have a hunch you're not a fan of Facebook. And I was like, what is she saying? And it's just like ridiculous because just her saying like, I want to be clear. And then everyone immediately didn't know what she said after that. But she says, I have a hunch you're not a fan of Facebook. Were you expecting Bill Burr?
I was, no, that was like a jump scare. I like, dude, Bill Burr, he's a good actor though. He's a really
good actor.
Really down-to-earth actor. It's nice to see a comedian who's got some acting chops.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. He's a comedian, and it doesn't help this movie look any less comedic. It doesn't make it look any less like an SNL skit.
That is exactly what I wrote down. This feels like an SNL sketch.
Yes. The Mafia would be an easier enemy to make. I do like a lot of the lines in the trailer. They're like, we're twice as big as the biggest country on earth. We're not frightened of Congress. We're post-government around here. And then you have, what's his name? Jeremy Allen White. He played Born in the USA.
Yeah.
Born in the USA. He's like, please let me quote that. And then the funniest line, I was talking to the boy Tyler about this last night, our brother Tyler, in the Discord. Join the Discord, folks. I was like, putting I'm not 2 years out of a dorm room anymore, Charlie, look around in the trailer where your actor looks very old is very funny. Yes, we can tell you're not 2 years out of a dorm room anymore. Lastly, the very end of the trailer has like that Go Girl line where he's like, they I hate that I know this now that they cut little pieces of the dialogue up for the trailer, because I can always just hear it now.
Yeah.
But he's like, I don't know what that girl is. She thinks she's doing. And then Jeremy Allen White like turns to the camera and he's like, she's disrupting.
She's disrupting. Yeah. I mean, the guy, to the credit, the guy really sounds like Mark Zuckerberg. Like he has that weird, like robotic voice. And at first I thought it was going to be, I didn't see anything else about this movie until this trailer. And I was like, is Jeremy Allen White playing Mark Zuckerberg? So I thought he was doing the voice at first. And I just wanted to be like, don't do the voice.
Is Jeremy Strong. He's known for that show that Dasha was on. Succession. Succession?
Yeah, that's why he looks familiar. I've never seen Succession. I heard it sounds good.
He was also in Springsteen. The Born in the... Am I going to get sued for that?
He's got to cut it out like right before Born in the... And then you're good.
So Adam, this comes out October 9th, 2026. A lot of these, this is the earliest movie that's coming out. So a lot of these have come out in like 3 months or later. Are you going to see this one?
Oh, shucks. I'm going to be busy with childcare. I won't be able to see this amazing looking movie.
But does it excite you? I said yes. I would stream it out of curiosity.
I would, I would, there's a lingering, I'm like, what is this movie? Is this movie going to be good? I would watch it for free on a Saturday afternoon.
Next trailer. Klara and the Sun. This one's produced by Columbia Pictures, 3000 Pictures, Spyglass Media Group. We love Spyglass. Distribution by Sony Pictures Releasing. Another Sony Pictures movie. This one's directed by Taika Waititi. He's known for What We Do in the Shadows from 2014, Hunt for the Wilder People 2016, Thor Ragnarok 2017, and of course, Jojo Rabbit from 2019. A robot girl designed to prevent loneliness tries to save a heartbroken family of humans. Adam, what do you think about the trailer for Klara and the Sun?
I want to see this. I think it looks cute, but it also looks like it might have a little edge to it. Like they're gonna get kind of, they're gonna get sci-fi with it. Good sci-fi has to have some crazy shit happening in it, especially about when you have like, you're talking artificial intelligence. We're talking robots. This is coming out in a post-Megan world. Yeah, I mean, and I love Jenna Ortega. I think she's a great actress. Seeing old Amy Adams in this movie, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we got Amy Adams, Jenna Ortega, like you mentioned, Natasha Lyonne, Steve Buscemi. So let me give it to you straight, folks. I said Reddit coded bullshit. Too optimistic for me. I said I don't have much to say. AF is kind of funny because it sounds like as fuck. Like I'm an AF. I say AF in chat on Discord. Join the Discord, folks. When I say AF, I mean as fuck.
I said AF in a text to my
interesting.
mom, and I don't think she knows what it means.
She was like a automated friend. Is that what it is in this movie? I already forgot.
That sounds right.
Animated friend. This one comes out October 23rd, 2026. Obviously, I don't know, man. I remember liking Jojo Rabbit. I remember liking Thor Ragnarok. I know you like What We Do in the Shadows and stuff, so you have some history with this man. Do you have anything to say to defend this man from my anger and darkness?
I think I've also seen. I can't remember what it is, but it's like it's about police who have to in New Zealand who have to deal with goblins, vampires, and boogans. I
think I've heard of it.
Pretty funny. I was like, wow, and yeah, it was showrunner by Taiki. I can't say his name. Wakiki.
Wellington Paranormal.
Yeah, Wellington Paranormal. I got my I have my in-house research team over here looking stuff up for me.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Bright from 2017, that Netflix movie that everyone called racist because they just turned black people into monsters or something. That sounds better.
Pretty bold.
I'm not going to see this one. I'm a solid no, Adam. Unless you pick it on the podcast, I will never see this.
No, this might have to be a podcast pick.
And it's the next movie, Adam. You want to introduce this one?
Yeah, the next trailer's coming on. Looks like we got the debut. This one's produced by Topic Studios, Fruit Tree, distribution by A24. And now here's the big part about this one. Directed by Jesse Eisenberg, known for...
I know...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead. Sorry.
When You Finish the World in 2022, also starring Julianne Moore and Finn Wolfhard. A Real Pain in 2024, starring Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin. I haven't seen either of those movies.
I'll just say here, that was what I thought was interesting is I feel like I've been talking about Jesse Eisenberg directing movies for a while. I just haven't seen the movies, and here he is on his third feature, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I like Jesse Eisenberg. I didn't know he was directing. That makes me feel, I don't know.
We just talked about the Social Reckoning. He turned that role down because he's like, I'm going in a different direction. I mean, he did just star in the Minions movie, but, he's a director now.
Yeah. Yeah, and he doesn't want to be Mark Zuckerberg for the rest of his life.
No. It would have been good, though, right? I would have loved to see him in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was the best part of The Social Network, right?
Yeah, he made me I don't know. At the time when I watched this, I know we're going back on, but when I watched The Social Network, that movie really affected me because I related to Mark Zuckerberg. I was like, oh, I'm a pretentious fuck.
Yeah.
His portrayal was really good. Read me that summary for the debut.
Yeah. When an unassuming housewife is unexpectedly cast in a community theater production, she loses herself in the role under the spell of a strong-willed director. And Dan has a note here that says, "This looks amazing."
Yeah, you're gonna read my notes now.
Yeah, I'm reading it all.
You could have asked me. You could have said, "Hey Dan, what do you think about the trailer for the debut?"
I don't need notes. Dan, what do you think about the trailer of the debut?
This looks amazing. One of my favorite parts of the Mulholland Drive movie is the mock scene where Naomi Watts does that emotional scene with that old guy, and this kind of reminds me of that. And so I don't know. I think this looks really interesting. I'm down. This is the first trailer we watched today so far that I'm like, I'll see this.
Yeah. I thought this looks really charming. Local community story, community theater. Can't get more charming than that. It reminds me of a Kurt Vonnegut short story. And once I made that connection in my mind, I was like, yeah, I want to see this. This looks pretty good.
It does help that I have AAA 24, so I see all these for free. I'm going to go see The Invite for free tomorrow. And I got discount with AMC. I got like $5 off concessions. Music and lyrics by Jesse Eisenberg. That's pretty cool. He wrote the music and lyrics.
Get to see how he is. That's interesting.
Yeah, maybe he's a musician, I guess. I don't know. I've never... I need to... That's my real note on this is I just need to check out Jesse Eisenberg's previous output, like before this comes out. The YouTube comments here said that nervous young man sure can direct a movie. This is like Whiplash for theater. And that's what I thought too. Whiplash. My
mind first went to the Elliot Page roller derby movie, but I don't think that's what you're talking about.
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that one. It's supposed to be good. Release date on this is December 11, 2026. Obviously a ways off. Obviously I'm going to see it. Adam, sounds like you're going to see it as well. Maybe on streaming. You're going to be a bit busy, but I'll have it up for you.
Good. Yeah, I want to see this one.
And next one, Dune Part 3. This trailer just dropped from Legendary Pictures. Distribution by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers! Directed by Denis Villeneuve. I don't know how to say his name. Villeneuve? Villeneuve?
Villeneuve.
He's French.
He's French. Not okay.
Yeah, I saw a photo of him or a video. Someone was like, "This is a photo of him from the '90s smoking weed."
Oh,
it's like okay,
he's one of us.
He's known for Incendies from 2010, Prisoners 2013, Enemy 2013, Sicario 2015, Arrival 2016. Damn, I didn't even hear about this guy till Arrival when you saw that. I still need to see that. Blade Runner 2049, 2017. Haven't seen it. The other recent Dune movies. What the logline here is Emperor Paul Atreides faces the fallout from his ascent to power as political plots in a galaxy-wide holy war endanger the future only he can see. Adam, have you seen the other Dune movies?
I have. I saw the Dune, the first part, in theater.
Okay. And you saw the other one on like streaming?
Yeah.
I haven't seen these. I haven't seen a single Denis movie. So honestly, my first thought is to hate on these, but like, I don't know why. I need to watch them. I'm curious about the technical marvel aspect of them. But yeah, my first thought was experience the epic conclusion. Meanwhile, I haven't seen any of these new Dune movies. Timothy Chalamet be looking like Darth Vader without Damask. It looks grand and epic, but lifeless. I feel like I'm looking at a 2006 video game that is brown. And that is my biggest complaint with these movies is, yeah, they're visually impressive, but why has everything got to be so flat? Why has everything got to be so fucking brown?
Yeah, especially considering the movie we watched for today. And if you've seen David Lynch's Dune, and it's like, oh man, movies can be so colorful and so beautiful.
Or you have the entire concept of Jodorowsky's Dune. Like, Dune has a lot of baggage, and I guess that's why I never watched these new ones, is because I'm so, like, jaded. I'm like, oh, yeah? You're not Jodorowsky? You're not Lynch? Fuck you. I said I like all the actors, I guess. The melodrama looks bad. It looks a little bit like everyone's going with emotions. That was another note I had. Is it just kind of seems like the third part of a series. You know, this is supposed to be the new Lord of the Rings, right? They shot these all back to back. This one feels a little bit more like they're going with emotions. Maybe it's just because I haven't seen the rest of them, but I got that vibe. This one comes out December 18th, Adam. You gonna stream this one? Check it out?
Man, if there was a way, I would want to see this in theater. I feel like seeing the first one, like it is a beautiful, the first one, they were beautiful films, like, in today's modern context, like they weren't visually groundbreaking, I would say, but, very cool looking shots, very beautiful, cinematography. The music was really good, but it, like we see, yeah. So like, I want to see this. I'd love to see this on the big screen.
All right. I said, I don't know, man. We'll see. Maybe if I see the other ones before. Next trailer, Adam. Introduce it.
Next trailer coming on is, now I'm going to say Werwulf, but maybe this is supposed to be pronounced Werwulf. It's produced by Focus Features, Working Title Films. Woo! etc. And distribution by Focus Features. Now, this is the big one, folks. Directed by Robert Eggers. Let's hear it.
Boo.
Oh, no. He's known for The Witch in 2015, The Lighthouse in 2019. Listen to our episode. The Northman 2022, and Nosferatu in 2024. Now, I got a little synopsis here. In 13th century England, a town is haunted by a ravenous beast that threatens the safety of a man and his family.
So, I obviously have like a hate boner for Robert Eggers. I really don't know why. And I guess, even just rewatching the trailer with you now, I was like, I would change this to like a yes, a solid yes. In fact, I'll change it now. Yes, I will see this one in theaters. Do you remember Hard to Be a God, Adam? Have you seen it? Do you remember The Virgin Spring? Have you?
Dude, I'll always remember The Virgin Spring. That has the best child tossing scene in any movie I've seen,
I wish I still had the fucking drop. It's somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. It looks interesting. At first, I was a little skeptical about the orthochromatic look. Apparently, they overlaid the grain structure of black and white film onto color film. No clue how that works, but this is all done on like super 35 millimeter. It's shot in an Academy, square ratio. It looks cool. I mean, my first thought was like, why not just shoot in black and white? But watching the trailer a couple of times, I think I get it. It's so you can have both.
Yeah, it definitely gives like an uncanny look to everybody.
It gives it an otherworldly look. Yeah, for sure. It looks like he's doing The Witch again. I haven't seen The Witch yet. I need to immediately. Dude was like, get me the ugliest background actors in Hollywood. Stat. Some of those people, man. Wow. Robert Eggers is terrified of a cell phone. But my last note was, I guess he's allowed to be a fucking hipster.
Nice. And this release date for this one, why? It's Christmas. It's Christmas today.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Get me the biggest werewolf you can find. Oh, a cooked werewolf.
Just Scrooge getting eaten by a werewolf, getting his ass eaten.
Just kidding.
I don't know. That's cool. I'll go see it. I'll go see this one. I'm excited. Maybe I'm turning. Maybe I'm coming back to Robert Eggers. I didn't hate Nosferatu. I liked Nosferatu. I just thought his movies kind of leave you cold. They don't leave you with much to chew on. I think I made a comment in the Discord. I was like, Robert Eggers movies are great because like when you finish them, it's like you it's almost like you didn't watch a movie at all. I think I'm being a little harsh though, to be honest with you. Sorry, folks. But that's it. I think we're both excited for this one, right?
Yeah, like it'd be nice to, if I have to take my infant daughter into the movie theater and tell other people to shut the fuck up, I'll do it. Like, you shut you let her cry. You shut the fuck up.
They got screenings for that. They got parent screenings nowadays.
Thanks, man.
But what do you know? It looks like I'm going to be like, a dad amongst many.
All right. And that brings us to our feature presentation today, folks. It's episode 105. We watched a movie this week. Is that true, Adam?
Yeah, we watched Hi Nanna from 2023.
Coming soon to a theater near you. Once upon a time, there was a king.
Wait, కింగా ఎవరిని ఊహించుకోను.
ఇంకెవరిని? నన్నే. And the king had a beautiful daughter named Klara.
అంటే నేను.
It is Manda.
నా గ్రీన్ కలర్ నచ్చింది.
తాతయ్య మినిస్టర్, జస్టిన్ గడ్ కమాండర్. ఓకే.
Mitra, you are looking beautiful.
ఏ కథలో కూడా అమ్మలేదా?
నువ్వు లేనప్పుడు నన్ను కూడా అడుగుతుంది.
What happened to her mother?
కనీసం తనకైనా చెప్పురా.
మరి అమ్మ కదా?
సరే సరే తోరా
మా నాన్న.
మ్యామ్,
యష్న
మిస్ యష్న, కొంచెం నా కూతురుతో ప్రైవేట్గా మాట్లాడచ్చా?
ప్లీజ్ గో హెడ్.
నీకు అమ్మకథ చెప్పాలంతేగా. అనగనగా ఒక ఊరు, ఆ ఊర్లో నేను, నా ముందు అద్భుతం, వండర్.
నాన్న ఆగు, ఎవరిని ఊహించుకోను?
హ?
అమ్మ కింద ఎవరిని ఊహించుకోను?
నన్ను ఊహించుకో.
This will be the best decision of our life.
నువ్వు నేను, మనకింకెవ్వరూ వద్దు.
ఏదో ఒక రోజు అబద్ధం లేకుండా కథ చెప్పాలి. చెప్పగలవా?
నేను నువ్వు వర్షాలాగా ఎందుకు ఊహించుకున్నావో నాకు తెలీదు, కానీ ఒక్క విషయంలో మాత్రం మీ ఇద్దరు ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ సేమ్. ఏదైనా ప్రాబ్లం వస్తే వదిలిపెట్టి వెళ్ళిపోవడమే.
వాడి భార్య వాడి వల్ల ఎంత సఫర్ అయిందో నీకు తెలీదు.
నిన్ను ప్రేమించినందుకు తను అనుభవించింది చాలు.
నేనంటే అమ్మకి ఎందుకు ఇష్టం లేదు?
ఎక్కడ తప్పు చేశాను? నా ప్రేమ సరిపోవట్లేదమ్మాయి.
ఇంకా చెప్పద్దు, ఇంటికి వెళ్ళిపోదాం నాన్న.
Yeah, that's right, folks. This is episode 105. Welcome back to episode 105. This week we watched Hi Nanna from 2023, an unrated romantic drama film.
And before we go too much farther, folks, rate the podcast on Apple or Spotify. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts, share it with friends, send it to your family, hit the like button on YouTube, subscribe, drop a line, leave a comment, slam that notification bell, join the Discord, hang out and chat with us. Follow Dan's Night Out on Instagram and check out the other links in our description. Dan and Adam rely on the kindness of listeners just like you, taking the time out of your day to make a difference, and our bargain remains. If you leave a review, we will read it live on the show. Live on air. Thank you. Now on to the program. It's up to you how you want to direct this, Adam. Do you want me to read the IMDb description tags? Just ask. If you want to read them, you can read them.
Let's go ahead and go a little back to back. Dan, read that first IMDb description tag.
Drama.
Family.
Romance.
A single father begins to narrate the story of the missing mother to his child, and nothing remains the same.
I just love scrolling down on these photos of our boy. Shouryuv. How are you saying his name? Shouryuv?
Shouryuv.
Shouryuv.
I think yours sounds right, probably.
We'll try not to say his name too many times, out of respect. Posing with the Black Lady, he received for Best Director at the 69th SOBA Filmfare Awards South 2024. We're going to move on and not even talk about the Black Lady Award. I like that first photo of him next to the horse because it looks like a scene out of Twin Peaks.
Yeah,
You're not seeing this, folks,
the horse is
but-
the white of the eyes.
So this is directed by Shouryuv. Adam, go ahead and read me a bit about Shouryuv.
So Shouryuv took an unusual road into Telugu cinema. He completed an MBBS at Maharaja Institute of Medical Sciences in Vizianagaram before leaving medicine behind and moving to Hyderabad to pursue filmmaking. Now, a doctor-turned-director pivot that's easy to miss since Western sources almost never cover anything about him. And before directing features, he apprenticed inside the Tollywood ecosystem as a creative assistant, story developer, and second unit contributor. Kind of invisible groundwork that defines many Telugu directors. Crucially, he worked under the mentorship of Vijayendra Prasad, the legendary screenwriter behind Iga and RRR, and the father of S.S. Rajamouli. The connection places Shouryuv directly within the lineage of emotionally driven, myth-inflected Telugu storytelling, and it shows in the clarity and softness of his own work. During the apprenticeship, he was rumored to have contributed to projects such as Jaguar and Aditya Varma, building relationships with actors and producers. Now, despite having only a handful of public credits, Shouryuv's trajectory reflects a familiar pattern in Telugu cinema. Years of invisible groundwork, one breakout film, and then rapid elevation into major projects. His work is defined by soft, emotional realism, clean visual storytelling, and a focus on intimate relationships. An unusual base for someone who spent his early adulthood training as a physician rather than a filmmaker, and part of what makes his debut feel so assured.
Yeah, and he doesn't have much to his name. It was hard to look into stuff, and I'm just gonna stick to what's confirmed. He has one feature-length film, the one we're talking about today, Hi Nanna, from 2023. He did win Best Director at the 69th SOBA Awards, which I was talking about. A category he actually shared with another director, Shrikant Odella, and their film Dasara, which came out the same year. Another movie starring Nani from the same year that won him the award for Best Actor. So like, Nani didn't even win Best Actor for the movie we're talking about. There's a whole other movie that came out same year that's supposed to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
He also won Best Debutante Director at SEMA 2024, South Indian International Movie Awards, and then won Best Director at the Oniros Film Awards. Just taking a pause here because I've never heard of the Oniros Film Awards. Apparently it's a paid submission-based film script competition ran monthly. It's an IMDB qualifying competition. They have a public screening in New York City every 3 months. So basically there's like a film festival every 3 months, and it's kind of a hybrid award competition, network exposure vehicle. Like if you win, you're allowed to submit an award to IMDb, and it's like a relatively accessible, inexpensive way to get an official award credit on your IMDb profile. Just interesting to note for directors out there. Like if you're making movies, you should probably submit to the Oniros Film Awards. He also won at least 2 awards for this movie at the Swedish International Film Festival, including Best Background Score and Best Original Music. There might have been 6 awards, but I couldn't confirm. That's kind of a thing here. It's really hard to, like, Western sources do not give a shit about what's going on in India. And it becomes more and more clear the more you dig. It's just, there's not solid information like there is for Western stuff. But yeah, we'll get into it, obviously. Does he have an upcoming film? Is he making new stuff, Adam?
You know, I'm actually glad you asked, man, because he has, VD in Shouryuv to be announced. It's in production, and it's a short for Vijay Deverakonda, the actor, and Shouryuv, the director. Deverakonda signed onto this film after being impressed with Shouryuv's work with Hi Nanna, starring his co-star from Yeveda Subramaniam, Nani. Visual effects supervisor Eric Durst is attached to the film. This appears to mark a rare crossover of a Hollywood VFX veteran into Tollywood. And now he is known for Hollywood projects such as Batman Forever, Spider-Man 2, Knowing, Snowpiercer, and my favorite, Gods of Egypt. As well, Mexican DP Alejandro Martinez is doing cinematography. Now, he's known for Stay Alive in 2006 and 7 episodes of HBO's House of the Dragon. Most recently for the episode titled Rhaenyra Triumphant that aired on July 5th, 2026.
Yeah, it just came out. If you watch the most recent HBO House of Dragons episode, you saw who's going to be shooting. You saw work from who's going to be shooting this new Shouryuv movie.
You know, I watched like 20 minutes of the first episode of season 3 for House of the Dragon. So I'm kind of, you could say I'm pretty cosmopolitan.
Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't, man, we're going to die soon. I can't believe that was 4 years ago that show started. Fuck.
4 years ago.
There's a nice photo here.
Season 3. Do the math.
There's a nice photo here of Shouryuv and Nani accepting an award here at the SOBA Awards, I believe. They just look so happy together. I like Indian. We'll get into it, but I'm starting to dig some of the Indian fashion. We got to start dressing Indian.
Yeah, I want to get one of those shirts.
So when we go to India, we'll fit in. Screenplay by Shouryuv, Vasant Samir Pinamaraju, and Banu Diraj Rayudu. Shout out. This is really good. This is a pretty tight screenplay.
Yeah.
I do have my issues. We'll get into it. Who produced this one, Adam?
Produced by Mohan Shouryuv. Other films he has produced, we have Rangathalam in 2018, also starring our boy Ram Charan from RRR. We have Dear Comrade, starring Vijay Deverakonda from the upcoming Vidi and Shouryuv film. We have Nani's Gang Leader, of course, starring Nani from Iga and this movie as well. He'll be producing the upcoming Vidi and Shouryuv film coming out. It's also produced by... Now, this is probably something I feel like is common outside of America nowadays, because this is also produced by Dr. Vijender Reddy Tigala, and he'll also be producing the upcoming Vidi and Shouryuv film. And also somebody named Murthy KS. Yeah, there's not much to say about these guys. Like, what am I going to do? Be like, oh, he directed Ranga Salam. Obviously, no. All I can do is say starred this guy and kind of give us an idea of where to go next. Production companies, Vera Entertainments. They're going to be doing the new VD Shouryuv movie. Excited to check it out. Now, budget, Adam. How much did this one have to make a movie? Well, I'm glad you say that, because Indian films rarely publish budgets formally, and so we have a range based on interviews and history, which comes out somewhere around 3.4 million to 8.4 million. Just somewhere, like a small difference there.
Yeah, can't really tell. Total worldwide gross was 8.9 to 9.2 million. I'm doing all these in USD because I'm not giving you core numbers. That's just too confusing. Both of the box office mojo and the numbers, who we usually reference for Western movies, listed as only making 210,000, which is laughably inaccurate. We are covering and talking about these Indian films, folks, because white Western culture refuses to. That's the truth. Everyone wants me to soften that. I ain't softening that. That's why we're doing this, and that's why this is important. Wikipedia states that this movie was a super hit at the box office, but this simply isn't true. For comparison's sake, Bahubali 2 made around 280 million worldwide, and RRR made 157 to 181 million worldwide. So, this is a modest hit. Like, it didn't crash and burn necessarily, but it's not a super hit. But it kind of gives you an interesting perspective, right, Adam? Like, RRR was a hit in Western culture, but I'd never heard of Bahubali, and that made a lot more money. So that must have been more of an international thing.
Yeah, we get so caught up in what's going on in America, we forget that there's an entire world, and they got movies that they're making for themselves.
Yeah, I was saying something this week. I was like, I think we're getting ahead of the culture, man. When you go and look up new trailers, when I have to do the trailer reel and look up what trailers came out, like half the movies are Indian. Like, it's a huge base. Do you know how many Indians there are, Adam? Man, it's like 1.5 billion Indians.
There's a lot of Indians.
Joey was like, we need to cover a South Korean movie. And I was like, Joey, do you know how many more Indians there are than South Koreans? But thanks for listening, folks. This was shot from February to October 2023, about 8 months. Again, hard to tell, but that's an estimate. Where was this shot, Adam? Let's talk about some of these filming locations.
Yeah, so I feel like one of them was in Hyderabad, Telangana, India. That's the engine room of Telugu cinema, and the place Mumbai often wasn't. Hyderabad is Tollywood's production base, home to sprawling studio complexes including Ramoji Film City, the Guinness certified world's largest film studio. This spans roughly 1,600 acres with dozens of sound stages and standing sets. Hi Nanna's crew, they used it for their third production schedule, likely building the film's interior sets there, the home, hospital, and other controlled environments. Even though the story itself is set in Mumbai, since it's standard Tollywood practice to shoot practical interiors on a studio backlot rather than on location. There is an adjacent interactive theme park zone with a mock action theater, Filmy Dunia, Cinema World, and Space Yatra rides for day trippers, Ramoji movie magic. That's cool.
Yeah, dude, these people are cooler than Americans. Americans are fucking boring. We don't have any fucking... I guess we have Universal Studios, but we stopped doing, like, cool stuff a while ago.
Yeah.
There's no movie magic at Universal Studios.
Not really. Damn.
They used to at Disney. They used to like push like there used to be parks set up that were like, hey, it's like you can watch a movie being made, and they just make like these fake ass movies, and you'd have a bunch of tourists come through and be like, wow, that's how you color grade a movie.
They're married, yeah.
Next location, obviously, is Mumbai, where the story takes place. This is the story's actual home. Unlike Hyderabad's behind-the-scenes studio work, Mumbai is where Hi Nanna's narrative is literally set. Viraj and Mahi's apartment, his life working as a fashion photographer, all of it. The second production schedule was shot here, capturing the city's exteriors and urban texture on location rather than doubling it elsewhere. So they shot like exterior shots here, right? And some montage sequences. Just give you the taste of Mumbai. But interesting, Mumbai used to be called Bombay prior to 1995. I've heard of Bombay before. I never knew the connection. I'd like to know the history. Leave it in the comments, folks.
The next location is Coonoor, Tamil Nadu, India. And this is where the love story begins. Coonoor is the setting for Viraj and Varsha's origin story flashback. The romance that started it all. 10 years before the film's present day. A Nilgiri or Nilgiris hill station known for tea garden fog and forest cover. It gives the flashback a naturally storybook, once upon a time visual register, distinct from the film's grounded Mumbai and Hyderabad built scenes. I mean, we got forests, we got foggy hillsides, cottage exteriors. It's a pure storybook vibe.
Samayama. It's that scene. It's where he stalks her forever.
Yeah.
Next one is Go India. Go is the beach. I put like the location so you can kind of see where it's at and relative location, everything. Like Hyderabad's in the middle of India. You got Mumbai on kind of like the western coast. You got Coonoor is kind of towards the south coast. And then you have this, which is actually on the coast, Go India, again on the western side, maybe like southwestern. But it's the beach town. It's where the story lands at the end, setting for the back third. Viraj's escape with Mahi and Pluto, the reconnection with Yashna, and the abandoned wedding. The hospital climax closes the film. All takes place here. This is where we see the bioluminescent algae shoreline as well. Very colorful scene in the movie. What do you think about that bioluminescent algae? Do you think that was like VFX work?
I mean, it could be, but it also could, it could also be real. I mean, that is a real thing. I just wonder, I thought it VFX or real, I thought it added just a really nice scene. I like the, when she goes running out into the water, the disrupted water also has a glow to it, and yeah, very magical. Very magical.
Yeah, like glow in the dark blue, like just on their faces. Who did the cinematography on this one, Adam?
Cinematography, of course, was done by Sanu John Varghese.
If I didn't put anything, it's because I don't recognize anything, and it's not important. But he did good work.
Yeah, this film is it's beautifully shot. It's not like super, like that's one of the differences between like this and like RRR or Iga, for example, is like, these are just very like utilitarian shots. Like they're not going crazy. Like the camera's not flying around the actors. Like there are a few shots where it's like, it's pretty melodramatic, where like Nani like puts his head, he looks off in the distance or something and the camera swings with him as it goes. There are a few Michael Bay inspired shots, I would say, in this movie, but it does it to like service, it like services somebody having an emotional moment and not somebody being like, I just defeated the Autobots.
The only real note I have on the cinematography is I said some of the shots of Pluto on the couch or the bed lit by purple lighting reminds me of I Saw the TV Glow, or maybe like a Nicholas Winding Refn movie. I thought it was well shot. And then we got, what was it shot on? It was shot on Sony Cine Alta Venice 2 with Zeiss Supreme Prime Ingenu Optimo lenses, mastered digital intermediate. Obviously, this was like edited on Premiere Pro or something. Struck to DCP, digital cinema package for theatrical presentation. Adam, read me that big, beautiful aspect ratio.
Aspect ratio is 2:39:1. Modern scope.
Yeah. So we got the black bars at the top and bottom. Dan's happy.
Dan he has his little bottle there. He's been freshly gassed. He's just very happy watching this movie.
Yeah, it's common in Telugu cinema, it seems like. Visual effects by Arun Pawar. He's a visual effects supervisor, and alongside Deccan Dreams, the studio. I like that name of the studio, Deccan Dreams. Who is this edited by, Adam?
This was edited by Praveen Antony.
The editing is kind of funny here and there. There's one scene where they, I think it's when he starts telling the story to the daughter, where they they cut to 8 exterior shots within 20 seconds.
Oh yeah, it's just like boom, 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 boom.
It was like the director was asked which interior shot or which exterior shot do you want to use, and he just said yes. Just cut them all in there. Editing is kind of interesting. It's the best edited Indian movie I've seen so far, I think. You don't got any thoughts on that? You don't think this is better edited than RRR?
I don't know if I would say...
I thought the editing in RRR was kind of funny.
Yeah.
This is serious. Even when they break into song and dance, I'm like, it kind of fits.
Yeah, I similar to the cinematography, I guess. I thought the editing was I thought it was good. I thought it was really in service to the story. It was it really let you feel it wasn't trying to show off necessarily. It was trying to get you in the emotional headspace.
And speaking of emotions, this movie wouldn't be anything without the music composer Hisham Abdul Wahab. Near unanimous praise for this score. The background score gets credited by multiple viewers for doing the real narrative work, carrying the intense scenes, making the pacing feel organic rather than slow. That said, I can't say much about the score because I didn't really notice it outside of the dance numbers. So, there you go. No! And then, Adam, go ahead and read me the distribution. Who distributed this?
Distributed by Prathi and Gira Cinemas, U.S. Theatrical, specializes in diaspora releases. About 270 theaters nationwide across major chains. We're talking Regal, we're talking AMC, Cinemark, Harkins, Marcus, and others. Never heard of Marcus. It crossed $1 billion at the U.S. box office within its opening days. And Nani conducted a U.S. promotional tour from December 8th through December 12th. Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Bay Area, Virginia. That would have been pretty sick, right? To catch some shit like this. To meet Nani.
Yeah.
To touch his hair. It was beautiful.
He also went to Netflix. Right? All Indian movies go to Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix is there are a lot of Indian films on Netflix. It's crazy.
And what else we got to say here? Did you say it crossed $1 million at the U.S. box office within its opening days? That's kind of big.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. That's,
Marcus is a theater out in Milwaukee, by the way. You haven't seen it because you don't live in the Northeast.
I don't live
or the Midwest. This was released December 7th, 2023. Had its U.S. theatrical release on a Thursday. I guess Indian movies just released on Thursday here. January 4th, 2024. Finally had its release on Netflix for the world. I don't know. I didn't see this, obviously, in 2024. I never heard of it prior to you bringing it up this week.
Yeah, this was kind of a random pick for me. It was more like the synopsis where that grabbed me, where I was like, hey, this sounds like a film up my alley, given what's going on.
Yeah, what'd you do? Did you ask an LLM, Adam? Or you're like, what's a good movie? How'd you come up with this?
I never speak to LLMs, actually. I don't sit there and just have a running conversation at work where I'm like, tell me about this jazz lineup. Never.
Interesting. The runtime of this movie is 155 minutes, Adam. That's 2 hours and 35 minutes. Was it too long?
I am going to be... Dan, I felt the length of this movie. I'm going to be real with you. And I guess like part of that is like,
Yeah, I
when
felt
there's
it in
not
the last
tigers
half.
being thrown through the air, the movie doesn't like just move as fast as you would think.
And then our cast, Adam. We got the natural star Nani as Viraj, Varsha's husband and Mahi's father. What can you say about Nani? He's a natural star.
He's a natural star. Yeah, I love that. It's like, yeah. Yeah, but like he's known for like having just this very, personable, he's a natural star. He's very personable, very down to earth performances as opposed to being like, he's not that melodramatic about that. I mean, he can be, for sure.
He's a great lead. Everyone loves Nani. That's the thing. He has a huge following. He's a huge superstar in India. I love him. I can see why. I was excited to see him again. I was like, our boy Nani from Iga. And he doesn't disappoint. We get a little bit of our Iga. We get a little bit of a different character in this movie. Next person, Mrunal Thakur, voice dubbed by Chinmay Sripada. I don't know how that works. I guess she was dubbed. But Yashna and Varsha, we'll get into it. Viraj's wife and Mahi's mother. Someone on Letterboxd said, should have been called Hi Mommy because of Mrunal Thakur.
Spoilers.
I mean, is it though? It's only a spoiler, I think, for Western audiences.
If we, yeah, you think so?
Yeah, we'll get into it. I did a lot of research on this man. We're white people. Yeah, this shouldn't have been a shock.
Damn.
And then we had next one. Who played Mahi, Adam? Who played the little girl?
Yeah, Mahi is played by Kiara Khanna. She's wonderful. Like for a child actress, I was like, there weren't, I thought her, there's times where she's a little over the top, and I thought it fit very well. I mean, this little girl had me wrapped around her finger in this movie. I was like, she's so adorable. She's so, precocious in a lot of ways, and just a wonderful child actress.
Well, I figured this is why you picked the movie, Adam, because you're about to have a little girl, but maybe not.
What? I'm having
Ritika Nayak. I'm having a what? Ritika Nayak in a cameo appearance as adult Mahi. She's a pretty woman. I guess I'll say here, I didn't give any time to Mrunal Thakur, but I think she's kind of the star of this movie, and other than the little girl and Nani, obviously, but she's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. I'll say that.
Yeah, like we're almost like chuds because like now I'm like, we need to liberate India so we can get their women.
I love Indian women. Shout out.
Shout out to the Indian women.
Shout out. The little girl's really cute. She's really cute. She's adorable. She's like a little adult. That's her performance. We have Jayaram as Varsha and Neha's father. That's revealed later. Viraj is father-in-law and Mahi's grandfather. He's pretty awesome. I like him a lot. He looks pretty young to be a grandfather, but I guess maybe not.
Yeah, like they both do, right? Like even the grandmother. I was like, she doesn't look. She's not that old.
Maybe they. I don't know. You're right. Yeah, because these guys are like in their 30s. The kids. I guess they could add them young. Who's the next one? I really liked the next one.
Yeah, our next guy we have here is Priyadarshi Pulikonda, and he plays Justin, and he's Viraj's friend, and also kind of like his work partner. Like he's the one, like, so yeah. The whole setup is Nani is a photographer, and then this guy is kind of like his
right-hand man.
His right-hand man. He's the one. He's like constantly. He's constantly worried about like things, and like that's like his character is. He's constantly like, oh, we have this plan, we have that planned. You forgot, and then like even
he has power though. Remember, he fires that one chick. He's like, you're fired. Get out of here.
Yeah, that got a laugh. Like my wife was starting to doze off at that part, and then it got a laugh from her. He's like, you're fired. Grab your things and leave immediately. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I watched you start this movie at 9 p.m. last night, and I laughed out loud. Then I fell asleep and woke up, and you were still watching it.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about these Tollywood films is that you could put it on, and you could do, you can get a lot done before the movie's even halfway over.
We also got Angad Bedi as Aravan Bhatia, Yashna's fiance, voiced by Vidala Hamanjandra. He does have a very deep voice in this movie. He's like, "Stop it. No, my brother's just like that.
Leave him alone."
I'm like, oh my God. He's great. We'll get into it, but he's another sign that there's something going on. Like he's a signal to the Eastern audiences. Next one is Shilpa Tulaskar, Varsha's and Neha's mother. She is a piece of work, man. Piece of work in this movie. She does a really good job.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was, I was like, man, this guy's sure got an evil mother character in this movie.
Yeah, wicked stepmother type beat. And we got, I just wanted to mention her because I thought she was very beautiful as well. I would like to see her in a movie, like doing a lead performance. Drishti Talwar as Neha, Varsha's sister. She's got a really nice look. That's all I'll say. Thank you.
She got a nice face.
She does. She does. Let's get into the plot. I'll read this through. Just give us some, what do they call when you go bowling and they put up the sides? We're putting those up.
You're putting the bumpers on, everybody.
6-year-old Mahi has cystic fibrosis, aka 65 roses, and lives in Mumbai with her father Viraj, a successful fashion photographer, which we mentioned, her grandfather, and their dog Pluto. Viraj has always dodged her questions about her missing mother, even breaking a promise to tell her the full story when she topped her class. Hurt by his silence, Mahi runs off with Pluto and is saved from a near-fatal accident by a stranger, Yashna. Pluto recognizes her instantly. At Yashna's urging, Viraj joins them for coffee, and with Yashna playing along as the absent Varsha, the mother, the two coax him into finally telling the story. Viraj narrates, 10 years earlier in Kunor, he fell for and photographed Varsha, a woman shaped by her parents' failed marriage. She told him early on that she didn't need or want anyone beyond the two of them, a position she held before marriage, not a passing preference. She married him against her mother's wishes. They were broke, but happy. Once his career took off, Viraj began pushing for kids, framing her reluctance as trauma she needed to work through rather than a standing decision she'd already made clear. She eventually relents. Mahi is born with a fatal illness, and the diagnosis compounds an already difficult postpartum period for Varsha. Undiagnosed depression layered on top of the exact fear she'd voiced from the start, repeating her mother's life. In one of her lowest moments, she tells Viraj she wishes she'd never met him, married him, or had Mahi. It's worth noting that this line does a lot of narrative work it may not have earned. It reads less as a considered confession than as one of a wounded outburst, the same kind Viraj himself has and is allowed to walk back elsewhere in the film. Varsha doesn't get that same grace. He looks at her in shock, and that distraction causes the car accident that throws her through the windshield. In the present, Mahi begs Viraj to stop the story, but a visibly shaken Yashna privately urges him to keep going. Viraj explains that he was later told Varsha wanted a divorce, which leads Yashna to assume Varsha died. And here's where we get the twist. Yashna is Varsha. She survived the crash, but lost her memory entirely. Husband, marriage, child, all gone. Her mother lied to Viraj about the divorce and kept him away to protect her from re-traumatization. Viraj raised Mahi alone and now softens the story details, a brother instead of a daughter, etc., to protect her further. Yashna is now engaged to Dr. Aravind, the neurosurgeon who treated her. Trying to spare everyone more pain, Viraj takes Mahi and Pluto to go, but Mahi secretly invites Yashna. The three bond, and Yashna finds herself drawn to Viraj again without knowing why. The film leans on the idea that the body remembers what the mind has lost. Aravind and the wedding party surprise Yashna by showing up and go, bringing the wedding to her. On her wedding day, Yashna's mother finally tells Mahi the truth, devastating her. Long-ass movie, folks. Mahi then suffers a medical emergency requiring an immediate, high-risk lung transplant. Something I don't think actually exists, by the way. Yashna's intuition overrides her amnesia before she even learns what's happening, and after a grounding talk with her father, who privately tells his ex-wife that Viraj raised Mahi selflessly and that she and Viraj belong together, Yashna leaves her own wedding and finds her way to the hospital. She has to prove, in effect, that she won't disappear when things get hard, the inverse of how her postpartum collapse was read years earlier. At the altar, Aravind understands without bitterness that Yashna was never fully his to keep. He gathers his surgeon colleagues and leads the medical team himself. Before surgery, Yashna promises Mahi she'll stay to teach her a song. She and Viraj begin rebuilding their bond, and Yashna says she wishes she'd been the one to meet him in Kunor, raise Mahi from day one, a mirror of the regret she voiced before losing her memory. The film closes on a flash forward with a grown, healthy Mahi performing the same song on stage, confirming the transplant succeeded and the family is whole again. Woo!
Read.
So that's the plot, man. Let's get into it. What did you think? What was your initial impression? Let's talk about expectation. What was your expectations in this movie before you hit play?
I didn't know what to think. I'm going to be real with everybody. I've never, we've watched like these Indian epics, these action epics, these kind of like surreal of a man reincarnated as a fly. So watching like a romantic family drama, I did not know. And I was kind of like, I was even a bit, I was like feeling like, oh man, why did I pick this movie? I should have picked something that had like a guy pulling out a gun with 80 barrels. Just something about the father-daughter story, it pulled me in. Expectations for this movie, not super high, which I guess in a way left it to be like bulldozed over, what I mean?
I try to watch this stuff earlier in the week, so I'm not like watching it at the last minute because I always fuck up and then I don't have time to do the research. So I watched it on like Wednesday after work. And one thing I'll note is like I'm getting more and more excited to watch these movies. So my expectation was like, oh, I'm excited to watch another Nani movie. This is going to make me feel better after my bad day at work. And it did. It really did. So I think an interesting note here I'll just say up front is it's kind of like when we brainwashed ourselves with Harmony Korine movies. I think we're doing the same thing with Indian movies right now, Adam.
Yeah, like you started hearing familiar things come in and you're like, yeah.
I like how like half the dialogue is in English. It's interesting.
Yeah, that has to be like a nod, and that has to be like a nod because like these are like I don't want to scroll back up, but I remember reading in like the distribution notes. It's for the a lot of these are for the diaspora. They're for Indians, not necessarily. It's obviously it's going to be for Indians in India, but it's also for Indians outside of.
Internationally.
Yeah. It confirms something for me too, because I would listen there would be like Indian YouTubers I would be checking out their videos and I'd be like, are they occasionally speaking English? Like it's confusing me, and I guess they are.
Yeah, I don't know leave it in the comments, folks. Why is there so much English speaking in these movies? So an interesting note, I guess I'll bring up now because I was teasing it earlier, but there are some smart formal choices worth crediting here. Apparently, the Amma Katha and Nana Katha split, meaning the father's story or the mother's story and the father's story, right? Because the first one we hear is the mother's story, which is half of the story, and then we hear the father's story, which is the other half. Apparently, that structure is like a well-known structure, so we should have already been like, oh, something's going on with perspective. And then they had the deliberate casting of Angad Bedi. That's the doctor, the new husband or potential husband, the new fiance. Reason that's interesting is he usually plays like not the love interest. He's usually foiled.
Oh.
He usually has to kind of give up the girl. So he's not like a serious love interest if you're an Eastern viewer. Just based on that. You're like, oh, okay, so he's not even an issue. He's going to, they're going to get back together. And then the last thing was Shruti Hassan. So she was the girl who kind of looks like Kylie Jenner. Do you know what I'm talking about? She dances with Nani at the club.
Yeah. I was like, what? Get away from her,
She's
Nani.
one of the models. So that's also another misdirect because she's a huge Hindi and Telugu star, I think. So like her being in the movie and them cutting her into the trailer and stuff is a deliberate misdirect, trying to, like a red herring, trying to make you think she's the mother. And so people go into this movie thinking, oh, she's the mother. And then when she never shows up, you're like, oh, I've just been misdirected. So there's all these like background choices that a Western audience wouldn't catch. And that's why it's so shocking to us by the halfway mark.
That's interesting. I don't know. It didn't even cross my mind that would be a trope. And I don't mean that like negative. I don't mean that negatively. I just mean like, oh, okay, so that's it's a trope that like you would be like picking up on and waiting for had we had like a long history with these films.
Yep. We don't yet. We're building it, but yeah, neither of us caught that. We're white boys, so I was shocked. My note here was I wasn't expecting that twist. Damn.
Yeah, no, when that happened, I was just like, I think I rewound it a bit. I was like, did I miss something? Wait, what is happening? Like,
well, he pulls. I have a shot here above the plot, but yeah, he pulls up the. We get the scene where he pulls up the laptop and she's like his background, one of the pictures he took.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's her. It's interesting. It's interesting how it plays with perspective. I think that's really smart. So one note up front too, just a piece of trivia. January 30th, 2025, over a year after its release, Kannada, which is another region in India, producer Pushkara Mallikarjunaya, something like that, posted on Instagram accusing Hi Nanna team of remaking his 2020 film Beam Asina Nala Maraja without securing official remake rights, tagging Nani directly and calling it a cheap thing to do. So he's a name in Canada cinema. He's produced a bunch of movies, which gives the accusation industry weight rather than just being a random claim. But the movie is basically like the structured similarity is it follows a man who meets a woman at a resort. He tells her his love story involving a different woman from the past, and the story resolves with the two women being revealed as the same person. It is the same core twist mechanism, but amnesiac woman is secretly the lost love. Apparently, like I was saying earlier, is a common plot device in Indian cinema. So neither Nani, Shouryuv, or Vera Entertainments issued any public response to that allegation, and there is no legal action taken. So not much to say, but someone got pissed. Someone had a different reaction to this movie, Adam.
That's interesting. But even like we just said, like that's like a trope. So it seems a little... it seems kind of shitty to be like, you stole from me, and it'd be like, we're all stealing. We're all stealing this story beat. I mean, like,
you know how I feel about remixing and stuff. We watched Project X last weekend, and I had an interesting note about it. Project X, the found footage party movie. I've probably made you watch it, right?
we watched it. I was like, I just totally surprised. Would not have seen that coming. I thought that movie was going to suck, and it was awesome. Miles Teller is in that movie.
Everyone I show that to, everyone's always like, I don't know. And then I show it to them, they're like, yeah, this rocks. And I watched it with surround sound, Dolby Atmos kind of shit. So I felt like I was at the party. It was crazy. But I said this movie lives and dies by how well you do with millennial cringe, nostalgia for American Apparel, Urban Outfitters, both good and bad. One of the best soundtracks of all time, reflecting a culture that was obsessed with remixes. I think we've kind of lost that, but I do support that idea. I think remixing is important. It is like so important to art. Like that's why I don't understand this. This is kind of a dumb accusation. But go ahead and read me a couple more of those trivia notes. I'm going to grab water real quick.
Yeah, so this is actually the second time Nani portrays a father. His first role was in Jersey, which significantly expanded his recognition across India and earned him numerous awards. And I'm just curious, I'm going to, since Dan's away, Adam's going to play.
I'm back.
Dan's gone. He's never coming back. Jersey, it's a 2022 Hindi language sports drama film. Dan, we got to change it up even more and watch an Indian sports film next. That's about a former cricketer returning to the sport in his late 30s to fulfill his son's wish for a jersey, battling personal and professional challenges along the way. That sounds like another movie that wants to make me cry. Dan, you reading the plot of this movie, I got a little misty-eyed.
Oh yeah. It's a tearjerker, this movie. Just a note here, when Viraj proposes at the restaurant, the shot briefly shows Yashna in her present-day outfit nodding. It looks like a continuity error, but it's actually a memory bleed, an early visual hint that Varsha and Yashna are the same person. Another thing we shouldn't have missed, that was pretty obvious. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of have some prompts here I want to talk about to kind of get us going. Ratings cluster this movie around 3 to 4 out of 5 range. A number of viewers going all the way, calling it one of their favorite Nani films outright. We just mentioned it. The word tearjerker gets thrown around a lot. Multiple viewers specifically note that the film got them crying earlier or harder than they expected going in. Adam, did you drop tear?
Oh, did I drop tears? I want to... If I think about this scenes, parts of this movie too much, yeah, I'll start getting teary-eyed.
I watched a YouTube video this morning of some two dudes like doing a live watch of it, and they edited it so it wasn't like the whole movie. But I watched them doing it, and yeah, both of them just started crying at some point. They just pulled out tissue. I was like, I didn't cry, but it's hard to make me cry, folks. But it does happen. It does happen. Maybe one day. Common structure of praise here, the strong first half, even stronger second half, with the climax singled out repeatedly as a high point. There's universal agreement on the trio of lead performances, Nani, Mrunal Thakur, and child actor Kiara Khanna. I think they call her baby Kiara Khanna in the credits.
Oh,
but that's something almost no one disputes, right? Like, they're all great.
Yeah. Like, this is... strong cast in this movie.
And, strong first-time director, too, right? The first time he's directed a movie. This is a really good movie for being your first one. Multiple viewers specifically call out that Shouryuv pulls off emotional beats that would be difficult even for an experienced director. One reviewer frames the film as elevated by its emotional execution and direction, even when they found the plot itself slow-going. A longer-form comment describes the film as stitching together numerous enchanting moments despite predictable beats and cliche, crediting the visuals, music, and performance for pulling it together into what they call a comforting, feel-good watch. Yeah, I'd agree with basically all of that. I think it's really well directed.
Yeah.
And Pluto, Adam, the unofficial protagonist.
Yeah, let me read these notes here. More than one viewer jokes that Pluto is the real protagonist of the film. Specific praise for how consistently the film keeps the dog visible and relevant rather than using him as a prop. Noting that every time a viewer wondered where Pluto was, he was on screen. And I do love that. Yeah, and I do love, like, there's like emotion, there's like beats where like it'll cut back to her seeing him as a puppy to her seeing him as an adult dog. And I guess even, yeah, like, I mean, I guess you could almost be, yeah, we should have known, like, from the beginning when he recognizes Varsha, he should have been like, yeah. We should have been like, because he wasn't just running, he was running straight to her.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that until, now, actually, so.
Yeah. They do show it in the movie when they do like this is all happening, the twist moment. They show that clip. But yeah, Pluto's like really important in the movie. There's a really sad scene at one point where, is his name Nani in this? No, his name's Viraj. Viraj is, he's kind of dating her, and he is like, I got a new camera. I had to sell Pluto to do it. But the thing is it frames it as like, he even tells his daughters, he's like, she loved, I thought I don't remember how he phrases it, but she didn't love Pluto. She didn't love the dog at first. And then she learns to love the dog, and then he sells the dog. And then she's so upset, and she's like, how do I know you're not going to abandon me? Just like Pluto. And, he goes back and gets the dog, and they have a reunite. They get reunited. She comes back, and she's like so happy he has Pluto. But that's like framed partially as like, this whole movie is about her. And that's something I really liked, is the whole movie is about her like trauma from growing up in I don't want to say like a broken home, but like kind of like a home where people are fighting all the time. I know this. I grew up in a house that was kind of unstable in that way. And so like growing up, I think my girlfriend's the same way. I think a lot of people are the same way. And then maybe that's why there's less kids today. But a lot of people are traumatized by the stuff we see in this movie. It's very relatable. What do you think about that stuff, Adam? as someone who's about to have a kid, what do you think about the child-free stance of her going into this movie?
Oh, I mean, it makes so much sense. Like, my kid's not even here yet. And it makes so much sense to me because I'm already lamenting my loss of freedom. Like, lamenting like the idea that where I'm like, oh, I just can't get up and go. I won't be able to get up and go anywhere. Every time I go somewhere, it's going to be and so like, and like she's an artist too, and so like it makes sense that like, that's like, and you have to like, it is crazy, right? That Viraj like brings that up again. He's like, I want this so bad, and he gets so mad, even though she's like, look, from the beginning, man, I told you I didn't want this. And that just makes it like, and that's just so much more heartbreaking later, right? Because like Mahi is sick, and and she's like directly is like, you did this to me. This is your fault. Like I didn't even want this. So it's very God, yeah, that shit had me fucking torn up. Like and like so it's very like relatable. Right.
What do you think about your parents, though? What do you think about your parents in relation to your kid and how you're going to treat them?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, it feels like a direct line of like, okay, I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. Like, there are things I don't want my kid to grow up feeling if I can help it. And if they're going to feel those things, I want them to be, if they're going to feel bad things, like I want, it's like, yeah, I want to give you the opposite of what I had. In some ways, and not, in a lot of ways, my parents were great, and in a lot of ways, my parents were very young. And this is becoming a podcast about parenting now, but, yeah, like
there are people out there that want to hear this.
Like I really felt her, where she's like, I don't want to bring a kid and have her experience what I experienced. Pretty much. And
that's her hesitancy. Yeah. Like the whole thing is she's like, I've been traumatized. I don't want to traumatize another kid. I don't want to. I love the stuff where she has her ears cuffed by both her father and her, that's one of the things that really makes her fall in love with Viraj is he's very protective.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll get into it right now. So this is where kind of the negative stuff comes in that I was reading. This isn't just my opinion. I know it's a little woke, guys. And I'll just say this up front. Like we're talking about an Indian movie, right? This isn't me trying to be like racist or anything, but Indian culture is a little bit more conservative. It's a little bit more right wing than woke ass America. So there are some things you could nitpick here. Even though it's a great movie, it's a tearjerker. Nani isn't the best guy of all time. He has some negative qualities here. So, and the way the movie portrays Yashna, this is subjective, and I'm curious what you think. Yashna never gets her own ending. One reviewer flagged this directly. The film's happy ending belongs to Mahi and Viraj, and Yashna is folded into it rather than given a resolution of her own. She regains a family she doesn't remember choosing, and the narrative doesn't really sit with what it costs her. Even a 6-year-old is framed as more emotionally resilient than she is. Do you think Yashna gets her own ending? Varsha, Yashna?
I think that's it's very interesting because, and I think it's kind of right. Now, like thinking about it, it's like, this movie, and like my feeling is like, are the same thing where it just explores so many different themes, right? Like it, at an hour and 15 minutes of this movie, I was like, this feels like the movie should be over. How long do I have left? And I was like, oh my God, there's more coming. And that was before the twist.
Yeah. That's like before even half the movie's over.
I think there could have been time to show, you could have just had a montage, right? To like get the point, a montage with a song, just to show her, coming back into her family's life, and what that would like, what that would mean. And I thought, I think that's very apt criticism of this movie. I think more Varsna and more of her story. Yashna.
And next thing kind of leads into the next thing, right? She gave up, framing as doing unfair work. She gave up. The single line Varsha says in a breakdown moment gets treated by the film's characters and arguably by the film itself as evidence of who she is fundamentally, in a way Viraj's own comparable outbursts never are. That's a writing choice, not a neutral plot fact, and it's worth naming as such rather than repeating uncritically in the synopsis. So that's why if you listen to the synopsis, it was kind of colored a little bit. I don't like that. I don't like when he freaks out and he has a little meltdown. He's like, we should have never gotten married. I'm like, you're taking this too far, man. And he doesn't really get punished for that, right? Not in the same way Varsha is.
Right.
Varsha goes through a fucking glass windshield.
Yeah.
So that feels a little unfair.
Yeah, like you said, like he said, like they say the same thing essentially to each other. Like they're like, I regret this. It's never really, he's allowed to come back immediately and be like, I'm so sorry. Like, I can't believe I said that. Whereas she's never given that opportunity. And
she's fucking exiled.
And kind of like how, she's exiled. And how we mentioned before, the movie ends before we actually see her making that decision. And I don't mind the ending. Like, I thought it was still beautiful ending to just be like, oh, what happened? And then it just cuts to, a living teenage Mahi. And it's like, oh.
Yeah, like that transition's really cool too, right? Like they have the operating doors and you have the surgeon walking through the doors and he opens it and walks through and it's her performing years later.
And it leaves you a bit like, at first it's still like, it doesn't tell you right away, I think, because she's performing on stage in front of a crowd. The camera spins around her and then it reveals an empty theater that she's performing in. And so for a split second, I feel like you're kind of left with like, oh, she's dead. She didn't survive the operation.
Oh, wow. I did not catch that.
Oh, man, that's how I took it. Okay, that's how I took it. And then, of course, it continues and she finishes and everyone applauds. So you're like, she lived.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I like the ending, but yeah, there's a little bit agency that's taken away from Varsha that I'm not 100% okay with. Another criticism here, last criticism, the premise reads differently depending on who's watching. Some audience response has pushed back hard on the Kunor backstory specifically. Varsha states up front she doesn't want children, is talked out of the position after marriage under language that reframes her stance as trauma to overcome. And the film then resolves the fallout of that choice through a level of postpartum wealth and support, nannies, resources, and a booming career that's out of reach for most people navigating the same pressure. Read this way, the romantic persuasion arc looks more like a cautionary tale about pre-marriage disclosure and consent around parenthood than the film seems to intend it as. So yeah, like, it's just like, it's so quick, right? He comes back and she's like, okay, I'll have a kid. It's just too quick.
Yeah.
It's a little gaslighty too, right? He's like, he leaves. He's like, that's it. If you don't want to have a kid, I'm leaving.
Yeah. And again, I mean, like I was saying, like, this is an Indian film. You could have had a montage where, like, literally the lyrics were, her singing about struggling with this decision, and we can see her, you can just see her make the decision and not just be like, you're right, I'm scared of losing you. Let's have a child. Yeah, I think that's a fair criticism. I'll take it.
That's really the only criticism I have of this movie. My girlfriend, because I texted my girlfriend while I was watching this, and I was like, I'm really loving this movie, like halfway through, and I was like, it reminds me of me and you a little bit. And then she asked me the next day and was like, what'd you think about it? And I was like, well, it was a little misogynistic. So that was my initial take. But I really like the movie. I really like it. I enjoyed watching it. I love Nani. I love discovering the little cast here. I loved, obviously, Mrunal Thakur. I would love to see some more movies with her. Kiara Khanna, she's really good. She's really good for a kid actor. I don't like kids in movies. She was great. But it's a really good story. And I guess, like, one beat I didn't mention or we haven't talked about is how the father-in-law, he, like, basically abandons his own daughter for a long period of time because he's like, Viraj and my granddaughter need me more. And he just shows up with his like luggage at one point and lives with them. It's really sweet. I thought that was really sweet. I wish I had a family that was so active like that and communal based. Like, yeah, I'll just come live with you because you're having a hard time.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, having a baby on the way makes me like wonder. Like, I'm like, I thought this was supposed to be a village. Where's everybody? Where's all the people offering to be like, we're gonna babysit X number of days if you need it? Like,
it's like today's day and age. Like, grandmas and grandpas are like the worst they've ever been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Gen X generation, like whatever, late boomers, like it's a me generation, man. And I get it. Like, they're old, they're promised this shit that's never going to happen. And they're just now realizing like, oh, I'm not going to be able to really retire. I'm not going to be able to live like, I'm not going to get the American dream I was promised. And I paid into the system, etc. But it does cause this thing where they're all still working. They don't have expendable cash. They're not the same grandparents we had.
These aren't your parents' grandparents, everybody. I mean,
it's just kind of sad.
It's true to another extent too, where like you look at grandpas and grandmas nowadays, they don't look like grandmas and grandpas. Like when I was a kid, a grandma looked like a grandma. Nowadays, they got like tight jeans on, their nails are done, their smartwatch. They got their tits out. I'm just like, are you going out tonight? Like, what is going on? And it's like, people, I don't know, man, like people just push back on it too, where they're like, you don't want grandparents, you want a babysitter. And it's just like, go fuck yourself. Like, that should be the part.
It's kind of that was part of their position in the family unit for a long time.
Yeah. Cause like, guess what? It's hard to do all this shit by yourself.
It's just the country didn't hold up their end of the bargain. So they're all, it's not their fault that they're broke. I get it.
Right. I mean, the only real answer is going to be like, in reality, and like realpolitik kind of answer is like, we all got to start living in communes together with our families and extended families and friends, being like, you know what, this is the only real affordable way to do this.
Yeah, join the Discord, folks. We're building a commune.
We're gonna buy a plot of land somewhere out in the desert that doesn't have any running water. I'm not even joking,
folks. Make sure we get famous and give us money. I'm opening up the commune. You can come visit. All right. So I have some last notes here. Dolby Atmos mixing by Surin G. I said this movie has Dolby fucking Atmos. Very cool. Indian cinema is coming up. I liked a line in the movie that said, the father said to Viraj, or maybe to the granddaughter, he said, winning and losing is God's will. It's just important that you show up, right? And you just keep doing it. That line hit me. I was like, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's why I keep doing this podcast.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think you watch a Telugu movie and like, I don't know explicitly that this is like a Hindu thing. I know that in the Bhagavad Gita, there's a whole bit that talks about like, and that Ram Charan like quotes verbatim almost in RRR how, you don't deserve the outcome of like this battle of what you're doing. Your goal, like what you should be doing is just striving towards your goal. Like you just need to complete it. It's not about getting the outcome. It's about getting there. And I thought that was like,
it's about the journey.
Yeah.
Good journey.
And like you said, that's this podcast. Like I don't, hey, we never get famous. I still want to be that jazz man at 94. I want to be doing this podcast at 94 where Dan and I are just like, we're going to talk for 2 hours and we never got to the movie because we're old and meandering.
Yeah, it's going to get worse, folks. Yeah, it reminds me of Red Letter Media where I'm just like, I hope they continue forever. They're famous, but man, the minute they ever close down will be the time I finally... I want to be alive, folks. So some more notes. The golden retriever's name is Pluto. So cute. I love Pluto, man. That's all I'll say. I love old ass Pluto. He's so cute to look at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you could tell some of the times when he was a puppy, it was CGI.
Oh, really?
I mean, it looked like that way to me. And I know a lot of Indian films, they don't want to use live animals on set. It might be illegal in certain cases.
It was the first thing when this movie comes up, right? It's like no animals were harmed in the making of this film.
Yeah, it's crazy that they care so much and like we don't give it like animal rights, animal safety in America is insane.
That's why I thought it was shocking when Viraj is like, "Get out of this room, little dog," and he pulls him by the collar. I was like, "Holy shit!"
I was like, "How dare you?"
Fucking, he's kind of an asshole in this movie. That's my note coming up. It's really sweet that Viraj plants flowers in front of Mahi's window so that she can see more butterflies. It's like a moment that's not explained, right? It's only shown, which I really appreciate. But yeah, I thought that was really sweet. And then it really hurts when Viraj insists that he's too busy to tell Mahi the story of her mother. You feel about as bad as Mahi might.
Yeah.
A note I didn't notice in that scene too is he kind of just leaves and he's like, "All right, fuck off." And she actually puts on her oxygen tank and mask and everything herself.
Yeah.
It was really sad. And that's like a whole note to this movie too. I don't know how realistic this is, the 65 roses or cystic fibrosis. I think that's a really cute way to frame it for kids, 65 roses, because they can't say cystic fibrosis. But it's really sad. And it's kind of like understated, right? Like it's just kind of like a B plot that's happening and you're like, oh, she doesn't want to take her tablets, and he pulls out these tablets and she's got like a bunch of horse pills to take. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they don't spend too much time on it, but then it does come back around, and it's like, you know, what do you call that? The climax of the movie.
Yeah, it happens so suddenly too. She's just like in the back of the car, and they're like, "Oh, she's dying all of a sudden." I was like, "Oh my god!"
It's kind of humorous how her doctor fiance is just like, "This is so and so. He's a director of this medicine. This is this guy. He's a specialized surgeon." Like he's like, "We got everybody. All my friends are doctors."
Oh yeah, the Avengers of the Indian medical industry. Thankfully, were there and cared enough to help out. Did they take a paycheck for that? I guess not. That would have been like a historical surgery, replacing someone's lungs.
Now, I got a couple notes here.
Oh, go ahead.
I was a little disappointed that the initial bedtime story he's telling her didn't turn into a live action like telling of the bed story. Like I felt like
I heard someone say that
they were building. They were
Princess Bride.
They're building up to it. They should have just been like, and like hard cut to a battle or something like.
Yeah, you almost expect that with the amount of VFX credits on this.
Yeah. Let's see here. I like the younger Nani more than I like modern day Nani.
It's two different performances, right? We get Iga Nani at the beginning, and then after the accident, you know, we get this much darker, cynical Nani.
Yeah. Well,
he's very optimistic, right? That's the like through line of his story is he's like, through optimism, anything is possible.
Yeah. Yeah, because even like, when Mahi's sick, when they first find out he's sick, he's just like, nothing's going to happen to her. No.
My dad says it's a sham and nothing's going to happen. I laughed out loud.
Guess the only other note I have here, it was nice to know the mom didn't abandon her daughter. Not really.
Which one, who are we talking about?
Varsha. Varsha, is that her name? I keep fucking her name up.
You just thought it was good she didn't marry the guy and leave forever?
Oh no, I just meant that like she got in a car accident. She didn't just up and leave. I was like, oh okay. Like she was flying through the windshield.
What did you think happened?
Oh,
I thought when it's described earlier, I was like, oh, they must have like divorced. Maybe she went crazy.
Yeah, like I thought it was going to be a divorce. She runs away. I didn't think it was going to be her slow-mo flying through a windshield. That was very.
She was crazy, dude.
Yeah, when she's just like lying in the middle of the street.
Yeah, it was really upsetting. And yeah, he like reaches out to her. That's in the trailer. That's an interesting shot in the trailer. My last note, I might have one more note after this, but my last note written, it says, as a poor guy, the lunch with the mom was rough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like a fear of mine, is that I'm going to be at a fancy dinner and the other person's going to be like, here's the check.
Here you go. I thought that the framing was really interesting. Like, I think she makes good points, right? And even Viraj is like, yeah, she's right. Everything she said. Because he is poor. And he comes in and he's like, I just spent my entire paycheck on this. But he's like, I'm poor now, but in 5 to 10 years, I'm going to make this much in an hour, and it'll be because of my hard work. And I like that framing, but it doesn't win her over. my only note about that mom is, man, this lady's mom is out of line. Like she tells Mahi that like the truth at the wedding and like just out of malice.
Oh yeah.
I was like, this bitch is like fucking evil, dude.
Bitches be tripping, man. This honky grandma be tripping.
I do love when he comes back to the party and he just flips the fucking table and you're like, oh my God, is he about to beat the shit out of his mom? And then he just like sits down in a chair and he's like, I heard you told Mahi. Do you want me to tell your own daughter about this? And she's like, oh, I'd never considered that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that part was sweet. And we get a little action scene there too, because one of like her fiance's like brother friends or whatever runs up and he just fucking kicks him into like a decoration. Someone
pointed out the action in this was kind of amateur. Like you noticed a lot of missed hits and stuff. I didn't notice it, but apparently it's there. Yeah, I'm glad she gets owned at the end by facts and logic and reasoning by the father.
Yeah.
My last real note here is about. Oh shit! Did I forget my last note? I guess I did. Damn. I guess that's the movie, folks. That's it. That's Hi Nanna. Adam, do you recommend Hi Nanna to our regular viewers, regular listeners?
I recommend this movie to everybody. Especially, you know what? I want to recommend this movie specifically to the Zoomers. I see you guys online. You're complaining about unnecessary sex scenes. Well, guess what? This movie's 2.5 hours long. It's about romance. It's about love. It's about passion. No sex. There's no sex. There's like, there's even a scene where I don't know if like it was trying to be sexy or if it was, or what it was doing, but Varsha is like walking away from Viraj and, she's wearing like, I wish I knew how to describe what she was wearing. It kind of looks like a halter top type of thing, but she has like a sari over it. And the camera focuses just on her lower back.
On her lower back, yeah, I was like, ooh.
And I was like, ooh, that's a sexy shot right there. Like, but yeah, like, I don't know. I don't mind sex scenes in movies. I think they add a certain quality to them, but there's also something to be said about not needing them in your movie, and that's fine too.
If you don't like sex scenes, just watch Indian cinema. Jesus Christ, I don't think we've seen a single sex scene in any of these movies.
No, I mean even the kiss was very sweet and very tame.
Yeah, this is I said it was unrated, right? Like it's like fucking the unrated Terrifier sequel. No, this is unrated, but in America because it just didn't get a real rating. But I think it's like 7+. So if you're a 7-year-old, check this out. I don't know why you're listening to this podcast.
Hey, we're glad to have you, man. How's your Roblox going?
Man, I wish I could remember my last thought, but that's fine. We've talked a lot about this movie, and we did pretty well on time this week, surprisingly.
Yeah, I even have time to go take a shower before therapy.
Wow, that's crazy. But that's the movie. That's Hi Nanna. I'll just say, going into this movie, I had a rough week. I always have like a rough day throughout the week. And the idea of that, I was like, oh, I'll just throw on this Telugu movie. It's Telugu time. My boy Nani. It did bring a certain levity to my week, and I really enjoyed watching it. So like, I'm down for some more Indian cinema in the future for sure. Just let us know what to watch. Obviously, we're gonna do Bahubali here, probably up next. I would probably assume, but maybe not. Let us know what to watch, folks. And Adam, we have a movie next week. I think I've been pretty obvious with what I'm gonna pick. Are you excited for this one?
I'm seeing a different movie than what's actually there, so I don't know. Every movie I see I don't know. I'm trying to make a joke. Yes, I am very excited for this one.
We've been talking with Tyler, the boy. I've made sure he will be available. He will come on the episode next week. Next week, folks, we're going to be returning to the year 2001. Join us as we experience 2001's culture through Shallow Hal from 2001. Shallow Hal. The logline on Shallow Hal is following the advice of his dying father.
Oh my God.
Is that even the thing? Oh, no, it's like a lower one. Superficial man now sees only the inner beauty of a very fat woman. Oh my God.
That's the log line.
I feel like there could be a better one. Yeah. So this is what we're watching next week, man. It's a movie that would be canceled in today's day and age, but I really want to check it out. I want to revisit it. We'll get into it more next week, but I watched this one a lot as a kid, and I specifically remember there being a Beach Boys needle drop and like someone jumping into a pool. I remember Jason Alexander's little tail.
Yeah, that's the memorable part is his tail. Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen it once. I don't think I've seen it again.
So a little tonal whiplash this week, next week, folks. We're going from serious Indian cinema to I don't know what to call this. Who is like the producer on this? Is this a Farrelly brother? Yeah, directed by Bobby Farrelly and Peter Farrelly. All right, that's it. Join us next week, folks. Adam, I'm glad to be joined by you as always. Thanks for joining the show. Thanks for, I'm sure our listeners love having you.
Yeah. Hey, whether they love having me or not, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. I was just like.
And that's it, Adam. Do you have any wonderful words of wisdom for our beautiful listeners that have stuck around for almost 2 hours with us today?
What can I even say other than, get on that shallow hal nice and early. You want to be warmed up for this next episode. And yeah, come hit us up with some Indian films. Like, it is hard, like as a white boy, as an outsider, trying to navigate that world. I'm not exactly sure what to watch next. We got Bahubali, we got all of anything Rajamouli worked on. I want to see, but I don't want to be just stuck on one director. I want to get to know the whole cast. And I want to say right here, we should swear right now that we're going to try to see VD Shouryuv when it releases in theaters. Yeah, in the diaspora. So yeah, we'll do that. And thanks for listening. Thanks, Indians, for showing up. I know you're not literally Indian. You're probably American listeners, but thanks for showing up. It really means a lot that you guys cared about our RRR episode, and hopefully you're going to care about our Ego one coming out and this one. Appreciate you, and appreciate our regular listeners as well, obviously, but you guys might not care as much about Indian cinema, okay? And that's it. Thanks for joining us. I want to be alive. Everyone have a great week. Goodbye. Hey, bye everybody. Jazz aliens. Yo, we from the planet Jazz. We're here to take over your honky asses, including you, host of the show. Jazz alien Quano Mono invented the Big Five sound. Yo, we're taking you to hell. You could be in hell, bitch. White monkey.
Jesus Christ, I thought you were dead.